She had millions of followers, a perfect life, and then one day she vanished without a trace. Everyone believed her last post, but no one noticed the hidden cry for help behind it. The truth wasn't that she was missing. The truth was that she was escaping. The last time Aisha saw Zara was smiling at her phone. It wasn't a real smile, the kind meant for someone standing right in front. It was precise and controlled, almost rehearsed, as if she were performing for an invisible audience. Zara tilted her phone slightly and told Aisha not to move because the lighting was perfect. Aisha stood there holding 2 melting ice creams while Zara adjusted her hair repeatedly, trying to capture the right version of herself. After a few seconds, Zara tapped the screen, satisfied. Without even looking at Aisha, she began editing the photo, adjusting brightness, smoothing her skin, refining every detail before uploading it within seconds. The caption read, "Just another perfect day with my favorite person, #blessed." Aisha looked at her and quietly questioned the word perfect, but Zara barely reacted. That moment felt small, but it wasn't. Because that day had begun with Zara crying alone in the bathroom for nearly 20 minutes. 3 weeks later, Zara disappeared. At first, no one thought much of it. People assumed she had taken a break, a digital detox, something influencers occasionally did. But Zara was different. She had posted every single day for 3 years without missing one. By the 3rd day, her followers began to notice her absence. By the 5th, concern spread. By the 7th, the situation turned serious enough for her parents to contact the police. Her phone was found in her room, her laptop untouched, and there were no signs of struggle or any explanation. It was as if she had simply vanished. Yet her social media remained untouched. Perfect photos, flawless captions, a life frozen in time that no longer matched reality. Aisha had known Zara long before any of this began. Before the filters, before the followers, Zara had been loud, carefree, and completely real. She laughed too much, spoke too fast, and never worried about how others perceived her. Everything changed the day one of her videos went viral. It was just a simple makeup tutorial. Nothing extraordinary, yet it gained massive attention overnight. Followers poured in rapidly, brands reached out, and opportunities appeared one after another. Slowly, Zara stopped being just a person and became something else, an image, a brand, a version of herself designed for public consumption. At first, she loved it. She had once rushed into Aisha's house, overwhelmed with excitement after hitting 100,000 followers, celebrating as if she had achieved something life-changing. But the excitement faded as expectations grew heavier. The pressure became constant. Zara began to feel like she had to live up to an image she had created. She once admitted that people expected something from her now, something beyond normal, and that she could no longer just be herself. Aisha had tried to reassure her, insisting that nothing needed to change, but Zara had already realized that everything had. That realization marked the beginning of her struggle, the quiet, exhausting trial that slowly consumed her. Her life turned into a repetitive cycle of filming, editing, posting, and checking reactions. Every moment was calculated, every action intentional. Even the smallest details were no longer natural. One day, Zara showed Aisha a photo she had just edited. It looked flawless, perfect skin, perfect lighting, perfect expression, but it didn't look like her. When Aisha pointed that out, Zara responded coldly, saying that was exactly the point. The comments she received only made things worse. Some people praised her, but others criticized her relentlessly. Negative comments about her appearance, her authenticity, and her worth became a constant presence in her life. Even positive comments began to feel like pressure. Being called perfect became a burden she couldn't escape. Over time, Zara stopped eating properly, struggled to sleep, and became increasingly dependent on her phone. It was as if her entire existence depended on staying visible and maintaining the illusion she had built. After Zara disappeared, Aisha couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Zara wouldn't leave without saying anything, not like that. Determined to find answers, Aisha went to Zara's house while her parents were occupied with the police. The room looked exactly as Zara had left it, clean, organized, almost staged, as if it were meant to be seen rather than lived in. Then Aisha noticed the laptop. Although the police had already checked it, they didn't know Zara the way she did. After several failed password attempts, Aisha remembered something Zara had once said. If something ever happened, the truth wouldn't be in what was shown, but in what was hidden. Acting on instinct, Aisha typed "not perfect." The laptop unlocked immediately. What she found inside changed everything. Hidden folders revealed a second life. Private accounts, saved messages, and screenshots of conversations Zara had never shared. One anonymous account contained posts filled with pain and frustration, expressing feelings Zara had never shown publicly. It was clear that the person behind those words was the real Zara, the one hidden beneath layers of filters and expectations. The messages she had received were even more disturbing. While some people offered support, many were brutally harsh, accusing her of being fake and questioning her worth. The constant negativity had clearly taken a toll on her. Among the files was an unedited video. In it, Zara sat on her bed with no makeup, her face swollen from crying. She admitted that she didn't know how to stop living the life she had created, describing it as a trap she could no longer escape. She spoke about how everyone believed she was happy, while in reality, she felt suffocated. The most chilling part came when she suggested that disappearing might be the only way out. Watching the video made it clear that her disappearance wasn't impulsive. It was planned, a desperate attempt to escape. Aisha soon discovered a recent message exchange with an unknown account. The conversation suggested that Zara had made a decision shortly before she vanished. A location tag connected to that account pointed to a small town far away. Believing it was her only lead, Aisha followed it. The town was quiet and slow-paced, completely different from the chaotic, attention-driven world Zara had been living in. And there, sitting outside a small cafe, was Zara. Without makeup, without a phone, without any attempt to perform, she looked like a completely different person, calm, almost at peace. When Zara saw Aisha, her reaction wasn't fear but relief. She apologized immediately, acknowledging the pain her disappearance had caused. When confronted, she explained that staying had become unbearable. She described how she had been losing herself, forced to maintain a perfect image every day until she no longer recognized who she really was. The most painful admission was that she had started believing the illusion herself. She had been too afraid to speak up, convinced that no one would understand. Eventually, the truth came out. Her parents were informed, the police closed the case, and the public reacted strongly. Some people criticized her actions, calling them selfish, while others showed sympathy. Many simply didn't understand. But for the first time, Zara didn't try to control how she was perceived. She accepted the consequences and chose to live differently. Most of her social media accounts were deleted, and the few she kept reflected a new approach: honest, unfiltered, and real. Although she lost millions of followers, she gained something far more important. In the end, as Zara and Aisha sat together watching the sunset without any cameras or filters, the silence between them felt genuine. Zara admitted that the worst part of everything hadn't been the hate or the pressure, but the moment she started believing the false image she had created. That realization stayed with Aisha because it revealed a deeper truth about the world they lived in. Final lesson: don't judge reality by social media appearances. True happiness isn't curated, it's found in real, imperfect, and unfiltered moments.